You're watching Adorama TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Adorama TV. I'm Mark Wallace. Well, over the past year or so, we've had a lot of emails asking about different products, and specifically a lot of people have asked about the specific products that I use here in the studio. Well, there are a lot of products that we use, and some of them are sort of unsung heroes. It's sort of like a pen holder on your desk. You know, you use it every single day and it becomes so well used that you sort of forget about it. And so what I decided to do was sit down with our staff and the people we work with here in the studio and make a short list of the gear that we find indispensable, stuff that we use every single day, and without it we'd feel lost. And what I'm doing is I'm calling these Mark's Picks. All right, well this year I have 7 things that I've chosen as Mark's Picks. And so the very first thing, well, it's actually a product line, and they are Tether Tools products, Tether Tools tables and some brackets and all kinds of things. And originally we got some Tether Tools to do exactly what we thought they were meant to do, which is shooting tethered. So we had our laptop and we shot with this tethered to a camera. But what I discovered is we're using these things for all kinds of stuff. In fact, we don't usually use it for shooting tethered anymore. But a normal configuration like this with the laptop on a table. And one of the things I love is now there's this place that you can stick a couple of hard drives. So as we were shooting, we can stick a card reader on there. And we can really configure this any way we want. And the cool thing is I have it on a Matthew stand, so I can roll this all over the place. Here's another Tether Tools table. And what we found is a lot of times in the studio, you just need a place to stick stuff. Like, where the heck do I put my light meter? Well, I can stick it right next to my laptop, or if my laptop's not there, that's where we put it. Spare lenses, all kinds of stuff. We stick this on the table, and it actually has a mat that makes sure nothing slides off, so it's really safe. Here's another table we have set up. We usually have a couple of them, so you know, our pocket wizards and other devices, we just stick those on there, and again, we can move them around. In fact, if you've been watching Adorama TV for any length of time, you've probably seen some iPad reviews. Well, that is shot using some Tether Tools brackets, and so it looks like this. We've got it all blacked out, but that's what we're using. And the cool thing about this guy here, it's not actually out yet, it's coming this fall, but this iPad bracket allows you to, you know, give yourself a little prompter or cheat sheet, or maybe if you're doing some streaming music or have a review for a client, they need to look at some stuff, you've got that, and then you can just sort of roll it out of the way. And so it's very safe, very sturdy. And we use it all the time. In fact, one of the things we use this for, we used to have a homemade teleprompter that I used occasionally, and we stuck it on the tether table. Now we have a professional prompter, but we have to have a computer hooked up to a camera, and so we use this. And so this is either used for shooting tethered, or it's used just for capture, it's used for workshops, it's used for, I mean, we use it all the time. And so that is my #1 Mark's Pick this year. It's the Tether Tools stuff, because it's indispensable. Well, the second thing that we have, second is this guy right here. This is the Zoom H4n, and it's for audio stuff. And you know, I'm doing a lot of video. Well, any of those animations that you see, the voiceover was recorded using this Zoom H4n. Sometimes I make bloopers and we have to cover up some things that I say. Well, we do those voiceovers with this. Anytime we're doing a screen capture, I want to use an external microphone. We actually plug this in, and this is an audio interface. So we use that when we're doing those kinds of tutorials. And so this has become something that is in use almost every single day in the studio. So that's my choice for Mark's Pick #2. Mark's Pick #3 is this guy, and this is something that I've used, I think, every single day for almost 10 years. It's my Leatherman. This is a Leatherman Wave. And so anytime you need to tighten a bolt or cut something, cut some seamless paper, or you know, screw in something, whatever, you need a tool. And so this is really great. We have it just in the studio and around and handy. So that's #3. It's my Leatherman Wave. Well, #4, it's all these stands that you see. And we use Matthew's stands. Specifically, these are Matthew's Baby Junior rolling stands. And so here in our studio, we're setting up and tearing down and moving stuff and having to work really quickly. And I love having these heavy-duty stands that have wheels. And we're throwing them in the back of a truck, and they're just indestructible. And so we use these. We've been using these for a few years now, and they're in use every single day. Well, another thing that we use, and it's on top of this stand, and that is this. This is the EStudio Cool. And any video that we're shooting for Adorama TV, almost always we have these lights on. In fact, right now they're on, and if you look behind me, you can see there it is. There are the lights. We actually are using them right now. Well, if we're not using those and we're on location, we have this guy right here, and I think this is our pick #6, and that is the light panels, LED lights. And so we use these in the studio to sort of fill in stuff. or if we're out on location when we did the night shots and we had to illuminate things, we used these LED lights when we were shooting rear curtain sync. Or anytime we're on location, we actually are using these LED light panels. And you can mount them on a camera, you can mount them on a light stand. They've got these little stands that you can sort of hide them out of the way. When we shot manual shooting, we had to light up a little ugly fruit picture, and we actually stuck these on a little stand and hid them. So they're always in use around the studio as well. Well, there's our light stands and our tether tool tables and all kinds of stuff we use around the studio. But one thing that people ask me all the time is, which camera do you use? Well, the truth is I use all kinds of different cameras. I use point and shoot cameras and medium format cameras and 35mm SLR cameras. I even have some film cameras. And we try to make sure that we keep things balanced. So we have entry-level DSLRs and professional-level DSLRs and just all kinds of things. But sure enough, there is one camera that I find myself going to more often than not when I'm shooting my commercial work or personal work, and that camera is the Nikon D3S. Now, the reason this one gets so much use is it's a professional camera. It's a full-frame sensor, so it has enough power to be used in a situation where I'm in the studio shooting, or if I'm on location shooting, I can do sports photography, I can do travel photography, and it also has this insane ISO range. So I can shoot with an ISO of 12,800 and get really good-looking results, and the noise in those images looks more like film grain. It's very pleasing, and so I can get away with those incredibly high ISOs and get some really amazing-looking photos. And so for this year, this is the most impressive camera I've seen over the past 12 months. And so the Nikon D3S gets the award for Mark's Pick. All right, well, there you have it. Those are my picks for things that I use every single day in the studio. Now, I just want to make it clear that although these are Mark's picks, there are a lot of great products out there, and I'm not trying to say that these are the absolute best products. They're the best products for the way that we work, and I'm sure that they'll evolve and change over time as they have over the past year. Well, thanks so much for joining me for this episode of Adorama TV. Remember, if you have a question about photography gear, please send me your question to AskMark@Adorama.com. Well, happy shooting, and I will see you again next week.
This episode is brought to you by Adorama TV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.